Hey everybody, it is June 8th, 2026. Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. Now I did, by the time you see this, it'll be earlier this week, but I did do movies. Did Halloween and Nightmare, or Friday the 13th of which one is worse. And I got more movies, and I'm going to do those at the end of the movie, show you what I got in the mail. But I figured, I'm kind of in a movie kick right now. So hopefully you're in the mood to follow me along. And I wanted to do a Does It Suck? Rocky 5. Now, I remember when this movie came out, this is the Steelbook, that... yeah, this one did not go over well. This one did not go over well at all. It was... there's a lot of things going on in this movie. The first one is, it starts off making no sense whatsoever. Rocky's in Russia, and he's shaking because he's gotten too many blows to the head. Drago really does a number on him. All his fights are really finally starting to take the physical toll on him. Comes back to the U.S. In a turtleneck and in his accountant's office. I'll never forget that scene. I don't know why Sylvester Stallone thought that would be a good idea, because that turtleneck is stupid. I think he's in a couple of turtlenecks. Maybe he's in the turtleneck later in the movie. I know there's a turtleneck. I thought in both. Whatever. Turtlenecks, yeah, didn't work. It didn't even work in the 80s. But comes back, and Paulie had given the business manager or the accountant or somebody power of attorney. And they all go to Russia. And while they're in Russia, the guy makes some bad deals and steals some money and whatnot. And long story short, Rocky ends up broke, and he has to move back to his old neighborhood in Philadelphia. Paulie kept his old house. It just, the whole... I get what they were trying to do, like a back to basics thing and whatnot. It just didn't work. It absolutely didn't work. I get why they did it. Because they were so over the top with Rocky 3 of him being, Mr. Millionaire. If you remember in Rocky 3, there's this montage where he's doing commercials and whatnot. And it's showing how he's very ritzy and everything's, now it's all about the glam. And, this is very different from that character in the first Rocky. So I get why they did it. I think they could have done it differently, because it just didn't work. I think Rocky going back to the old neighborhood would have worked a lot better without him losing the money. Versus him losing the money. It was just a stupid subplot. Any rate, so he ends back in Philadelphia. His son, who is his real life son, has to adapt to living, going from the prep schools to a very tough inner city school. He doesn't acclimate well. Takes him a while, and he starts, of course, being going down the wrong path and everything. And Adrian is really hoping that Rocky can bond with his son, that he can use this as a bonding time with his son. Well, as this is going on, the only thing that's left, and it's just so stupid, the only thing that's left to them is Mick's old gym, which was willed to his son. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how that would work. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they could go after it. I don't know. The whole setup is just dumb. And that is a big part of the reason as to why this movie initially did not do well and was hated. This movie was not... people did not like this movie. This was like Godfather 3. It just did not go over well with a lot of people. And I didn't like it for a long time. I remember my buddies didn't like it. I remember my buddy... I think my buddy Mike saw this first. He loved Rocky. He was just like, this movie sucks. This is stupid. Pretty sure it was Mike that saw it first. Any rate, and then he meets Tommy Gunn, who Tommy Gunn, is supposed to be like a young Rocky. And, you're supposed to have this repeat of Rocky and Mick, but it does go wrong. So they do make it original, where Tommy is truly angry, and turns on Rocky. Everybody's comparing Tommy to Rocky because Rocky is training him and promoting him and the whole thing. And then you have the guy who is supposed to be Don King, who's awesome. And he's actually the same guy who was in the video I did earlier this week. He's the same guy. He's the doctor that eats Jason's heart in Jason Goes to Hell. But he'll always be, what's his name in a movie? Does it say? Oh, God, he's hilarious in this movie. He's so good. What's the guy's name? It'll come to me the second I stop the video. But at any rate, so he's that guy, that promoter is the Don King guy is manipulating Tommy too, and eventually Tommy leaves Rocky and goes with the promoter. And the promoter, all he wants is Rocky and Tommy to fight. Oh yeah, this is the stupidest thing in the world. That's another reason why this movie was so dumb. When they lose their money, the first thing that they say is, Rocky, go fight. Make some more money. Do a couple of, 1 or 2 fights and you're back on top. And he can't because of the medical, his head injuries. Okay. It's the Rocky Balboa. They're able to get around that because they do bring that up in Rocky Balboa. This is so dumb. Then they start. I don't remember how exactly it gets on the conversation, but like of doing promotions and commercials and things like that. And one of the guys in the office goes, "You can't do that because people are going to look into your past and see your former criminal record. Nobody will want to hire you." They were hiring Rocky for commercials as early as Rocky 2. It made, in Rocky 3, again, like I said, there's a slew of him doing commercials. It makes no sense. Nobody would have cared that Rocky was muscle for the mob. Nobody would have given a care. I mean, there's so many things about this movie that doesn't make sense, that just don't make sense. So Rocky and Tommy Gunn are getting closer, and his son is jealous, and he's kind of ignoring his son and the whole thing. And then Tommy wins the title, and people are basically saying he's Rocky's robot. So they go and find Rocky in a bar, and a street fight ensues, and of course Rocky wins, and he's down, and he hears Mick, in his ear saying, "You got one more round," or "Get up," or whatever it may be, and it's and Burgess Meredith came back for this. I don't know if this was his last role. It's pretty darn close if it was. Comes back for this cameo, which, stupid, but it was nice to see Burgess Meredith as Mick again. They should never have killed him off in Rocky 3. It worked with Apollo training him. It worked great in 3 and 4. Well, not in 4, but in 3. They never should have killed him. They never should have killed Apollo. And I digress. So Rocky, of course, wins this street fight. What's the guy's name in the movie? It's going to drive me nuts. I can't. God. Don't get old, kids. Don't get old. But at any rate, so Rocky, of course, wins the street fight. Big shock. And, Rocky and his son mend fences, and they both run up the stairs to the Rocky statue and the whole thing. Does this movie suck? When it came out, yes, absolutely. Does it still suck? I will never watch this movie on its own. I will watch the other ones. I'll watch Rocky Balboa, the Creed movies. If it's on TV, I will keep it on, but I'll flip. That being said, yeah, it still sucks. It's not, I don't despise it as much as I used to. It is tolerable. You absolutely hate the guy who plays Tommy Gunn. His name is Tommy something. Tommy Morrison. You hate him, and he was supposed to be a very unhinged guy in real life. Character mirrored the actor from a lot of accounts. Very, very. And then there were other things. He was into, I don't know, it's weird ideology. Thank you, I can speak English. And conspiracy things, I guess, is the best way to put it. Sadly, he does. I believe, he passed away of AIDS. I do believe. Very sad. Very, very sad. I think a lot of his interesting idealisms had to deal with that. Very, very sad. Very sad. But even before that, and he was a boxer in real life. Very difficult guy, I guess. In real life. Yeah, this movie sucks. It's a shame because it's not horrendously suck, but yeah, I gotta pick not suck or suck. Not suck would be a movie I would sit through, beginning to end, and not want to change the channel if the commercial comes on. Or when the commercial comes on, I definitely flip back. Now, if I'm watching this, commercial comes on, and Cheers is on another channel, which I love Cheers. I hate the way Cheers video. It's all I've been watching. I cut the cord, man. So why does he got all this stuff? I cut it. We were paying oh my god. So we had the internet, we had cable, and I had every channel because I'm nuts, and we had a phone line because I'm nuts. We were paying $300 a month for cable. I have cut the cable. Our internet is through T-Mobile, which I got a super deal that's locked in for at least 5 years. I think we're on year 3 because we switched carriers. And maybe it's forever. It could be forever, which is drastically different or drastically lower. And I don't have a home phone anymore. And I have now I have the antenna, back to the antenna, like the 80s. So with that, you get you get channels, but you have to go through streaming services and Pluto. All I do is watch Cheers. I love Cheers. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, Rocky 5 sucks. So, verdict in. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's definitely not a movie I would say don't watch, but don't expect much. All right, I'm gonna do so I'm gonna do. You don't want to see the movies that I not unboxing, but showing you what I just got. And you can go. But this first movie that I got in this batch that showed up, these were from whatchamacallit, Barnes & Noble. Again, they had a monster sale. I got these for so cheap. But I have this first one I'm absolutely doing a review on. I want to watch. I was going to do the review on this movie right now, but I haven't seen it in a while, and I wanted to make sure I watched it and I was up to date. The Wraith, man. I remember the first time I saw this movie. It was at home. I was 13, 14 years old, whatever it may have been. This comes on, and in one of the first scenes where they're racing for pink slips, Secret Loser from Ozzy comes on. I love that album. Love that song. I'm like, I am hooked. Great, great, great movie. Sherilyn Fenn is in this movie. She is so beautiful. Man, every time I'm talking about movies now, I'm talking about, and yes, trust me, I know I'm married, and my wife's response would be, if you want the 300-pound fat, bald diabetic, you go ahead and take them. I don't think she's worried about Sherilyn Fenn or anybody else coming and running after her and getting me. So, but yeah, Sherilyn Fenn's so beautiful. But The Wraith is an awesome movie. If you have not seen this movie, watch it right now. So awesome. This one, speaking of my wife, this one was for my wife and kids. I could care less about this, but The Hunger Games. It's a 4-pack. Digital, it says digital copy may not be valid after 2020. We'll check. Some of these, I actually got The Dictator, that Sacha Baron Cohen movie. I got it on eBay, a DVD. Or maybe it was a Blu-ray. I don't know. I got it, and it had the digital copy, the disc. Remember the disc? And I put the code in something, and it worked. So hopefully this will work. This one's a digital copy. Yeah, the Wraith's digital copy too. The next one I got, this one actually for my wife and me. She loves Steve Martin, but she's never seen this movie, and we've been watching some Steve Martin movies. Like we watch All of Me is so funny. If you've never seen that with Steve Martin and blah blah blah, what's her name? I'm looking at the actress right now. Can't think of her name. Come to me right after I hit stop on the video. But All of Me is so funny. It is so funny. But I got this. LA Story. This is, I don't know if you'd say a comedy per se. It's interesting. It really is. It really is like a snapshot of LA in the 80s, probably early 90s. When does this come out? No, it's not 2021. Code may not be valid after 11/9/22. But it's 80s, early 90s. I remember there's a great scene where people are lined up to get money out of an ATM. And they're in one line, there's another group of people, and they're getting the money out. And the other guys are pulling out, I don't even know if you can say it on, a boom mechanism, let's say. Handheld boom mechanism to hold them up. And they're all nice. And the guy who gets to Steve Martin, he goes, "Hi, my name is whatever it is. I'll be your robber today." "Oh, thank you." So Steve Martin gets the money out and gives it right to him. So it's a satire of life in Los Angeles at the time. He goes to Patrick Stewart's in this as a maitre d', and he calls to make a reservation at this very hoity-toity French restaurant. And he has to send over his credit report. It really is. So it is a comedy, but it's satirical comedy. It's serious. And then there's this part where this road sign is trying to tell him stuff. I don't know. It's weird. Good movie though. This is a great movie. I have not seen this movie in probably 15, 20 years. The Doors. Val Kilmer was so great in this movie. I cannot wait to see this again. I don't remember exactly how historically accurate or inaccurate this was. Not the biggest Doors fan. I like the Doors, but may not be valid after 2021. Well, I'm hoping these things are, these digital copies. But then again, that's why I have my physical media. Really good movie. Really good biopic. Again, who knows exactly how accurate it is, but it's a fun ride. Val Kilmer rules in this movie. And then an all-time classic. Oh, I see this is Shrink Wrap. Dirty Dancing. I have come now. This I do want you to comment on. I have returned many a thing to Amazon because the Shrink Wrap ones, a lot of them with digital codes have been used. I have found that the vast majority of Shrink Wraps are returns, and they're marketing them as new DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks and whatnot. So, very interesting when I cracked this one open to see if it looks like it's been used. But Dirty Dancing is a classic, absolutely classic. Digital copy, let's see. Yeah, let's see if it works. Great movie, absolute classic. I love this movie, but I also got it. I don't think my kids have seen it, so I wanted the girls to see it too. So, all right, those are the movies that came. There's still more coming. I'll show more of them, and I'll probably do it with a movie review. Yes, I'm still gonna live in the music, hard rock and heavy metal, of the 70s, 80s. Screw the 90s. I hate the 90s. Hate them all. I hate Nirvana. I hate Pearl Jam. I hate Soundgarden. They're all garbage. Still love my bands that released stuff in the 90s, but there's a couple stuff after 1990 that I like. There's a couple Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, there's a few. But I'm still trying to think of the guy's name in Rocky V. All right, well, let me know what you think of Rocky V. Let me know what you think about these other ones. And let me know if you've been getting shrink-wrapped movies and if they look like they're returns. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you